Today's adequate water episode differs a little bit from the other ones because in the pursuit of trying to document the water sources, we came across several other problems in the park, not the least of which are the inherent problems that fencing presents to wildlife.
So well, you'll see there's 2 dead elk, but one that actually is really recent. Look at this hazard. I mean, the Park Service didn't even have the responsibility and ethics to remove this old wire. This is old rusted wire that basically they just left, and it's not doing anything. And as you'll see, I have an elk up that direction that, I mean, that's absolutely nonsense.
I mean, rust, disease-causing agents. It's not just the elk, you know, other animals can get.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Why would you not
just clean it up? You know, take some pride in your seashore.
National park.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I've worked on biology jobs, field biology jobs, where you have to put up fencing to prevent cattle from getting into a vernal pool, and you have to put stays like this.
Oh well, look, see, this was too difficult. That was going to take.
It's crazy.
That was going to take another 5 minutes right there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Real quick, I just want to show everyone outside of the park, the hillside that represents death, where all those dairies are. Look how desolate that hillside is.
Yeah, I mean, we have how many ranches and other operations all around Marin.
This is a bit of a side topic, but it's one that you really need to wake up to, so I'm including it anyway. Not only are the ranches in the peninsula not rare or special, but all of Marin County is littered with them. To drive this particular point home, I drove to the east side of the bay and looked back out west. So now I am standing on the roadside of the ranches that you see when you're standing in the elk reserve looking east. And this is what you find anywhere in Marin County, where these ridiculous signs that use the word protected right on top of murdered habitat. Sadly, in the seashore, the theme of degraded land just continues rather than being an exception. Navigating barbed wire, manure, compacted soil, corpses along the fence line, and even here, along the right side of the fence line where cattle grazing doesn't seem to currently be taking place, you still see the effects of cattle grazing, indicated by the invasive plants introduced by animal agriculture, now dominating the landscape and benefiting neither wildlife nor cattle.
Thought for a second about this line. This whole time I've been filming you, it's been green on the left and dead on the right.
Yeah.
Not to mention we have these noxious invasives like bull thistle
Yeah.
that are also fire fuel.
Yeah. There's a bunch of bull thistle in here mixed in with.
And that's not good forage for any.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the elk trying to eat the flowers on the very top, the purple, and they're like, but yeah, it doesn't belong here. Yeah, this, I mean, you could see the line is so clear and obvious. You know, the funny story about that, though, is here we are trying to get this fence, the Park Service, to take it down. Well, the elk that I have found outside of the reserve, they all want to go back in now because it's rutting season. And these are big males, and they're going along the fence line, and they're walking along the fence line with the other elk that are on inside the fence line. And they're trying to figure out how to, it's crazy. I have a video of an elk running along this one further back, and it's just like constantly looking for a space to cross over.
That's pretty depressing.
Oh, it's heartbreaking because it's like, it's almost like it thought, oh, you know, I want to get the heck out of this reserve, find some forage and some water. And then it gets out and it's like, oh, I'm now in cow pasture land and there's nothing here for me. But look at this again. What is this accomplishing here? Is this just like meant to be a historical marker? seriously, I mean, they talk about history. Is this an old historical fence post? Because it's not doing a darn thing out here, and you look both sides of this fence here. This is a good spot.
We got a mountain prison that says, you know, special.
I mean, this is ludicrous. I was out here the other day trying to figure it out. Between the old wire, look at this thing. When an elk's walking along here trying to figure out how to get out here, and then they catch their antlers like I'm about to show you, it just doesn't make sense. Take some pride in the park you're representing, you know?
Why are they too bad at approving plans and writing papers that say that it's beneficial to habitat to put in another poop pond?
Well, this is what happens when we prioritize cattle. This is the first carcass, and this one is older remains, if I had to guess. You know, there's no bees, no wasp on it, no flies, no nothing. When I came across it, I think there were a couple last week, and it's really in there. But you know, I know what it is, and it added to the unfortunate tally we're dealing with.
Well, when you see it along the fence line, it's hard not to think that it was, you know, desperately trying to get out and finally gave up at the edge of freedom.
I mean, yeah, it could be looked at that way for sure. I mean, I don't think it's rare to come across a dead elk. What's rare is coming across the intensity, the amount of dead elk, where I'm finding them, how I'm finding them.
Is the number still 15?
Yeah, the number's 15, and I have a couple of question marks about ones after that. And this one's one of the worst, most heartbreaking ones because it represents everything that's going wrong out here. Look at, oh wow, it's gotten pulled away from the wire. And its head's gone. I had photographs of this guy the other day. It's been tugged away from the wire. Look at the wire's still on the antler.
The wire is still on the antler.
Wow. It's when I was out here, oh my God, that must have been way more recent than, I mean, it was last week I was out here and you could see all the face. The bottom jaw had been,
I see the jaw over there.
yeah, and right here too. Oh God, it's just horrible.
Now you said this has been pulled away from the fence since you saw it. Would it be a stretch of the imagination for me to think that this elk was stuck in this fence helpless as coyotes or something else moved in on it?
No, I don't think that's a stretch of the imagination at all. To, you know, when I came across this elk, its antlers were in this old rusted wire fencing here. It was right in down here, the bottom fourth of that hanging over. And this fencing material, as you can see, is not doing a darn thing. It's just hanging here, creating a potential hazard. So this here is just, it's like the Park Service just left it here to create a potential problem, which, you know, I don't know why that elk ended up in the fence. I mean, it's trying to get out of this reserve, look for more fresh water, some greener forage, and it's walking along the line, and it's rutting season. You know, they do like to knock their antlers on the posts sometimes, like on telephone poles, wooden telephone poles, you'll see that, or trees. You'll see them knocking the antlers on the trees. And so, you know, maybe it comes over and knocks this post and then it gets caught up in this old wire. It's just horrible though. It breaks your heart because this is a big, magnificent male here. I mean, you could see the antlers there.
The waist.
Yeah.
He may have been a leader. He may have been one to guide the young. He may have been one to spread seed for the next generation.
Yeah, who knows? It's just like, we'll never know his story.